Dr. Josephine Sanders is a minister, Aramaic Bible teacher, and spiritual motivational teacher. She was born in Sardis, Mississippi. She has 2 children and 2 grandchildren. After 36 years with the Los Angeles school system, she retired in 2006 and now resides in Atlanta, Georgia. Dr. Sanders has a passion for speaking and sharing ideas with others. As a teacher, school counselor, and administrator, she mentored students in academics and life skills. She always encouraged her students to set goals and take the necessary steps to achieve those goals. Since childhood, Dr. Sanders has had a great desire for understanding the Bible and its many contradicting, puzzling, and misleading passages. It was 10 years ago she met Dr. Rocco Errico, a student of Dr. George M. Lasma, a world-renowned Aramaic Bible scholar who introduced her to the Aramaic interpretation of the Bible. Studying the Bible in this language and understanding the culture and idioms Jesus and the people of that time spoke has enabled her to read the Bible with a deeper meaning and greater understanding. At this time, she has been inspired to share her knowledge of the ancient Aramaic interpretation of the Bible with others. She conducts online Aramaic Bible classes, group meditation, and speaks for groups and churches. Her message this morning stresses the importance of understanding the Bible from the perspective of the ancient Semitic people and how applying this knowledge will manifest greater peace of mind in our daily life and bring about world peace. Her educational background includes a Master's of Metaphysical Science and a Doctor of Divinity, specializing in Bible interpretation from the University of Sedona. She is a retired school administrator from the Los Angeles Unified School District with a BA in Biology from the University of Pepperdine and Mississippi Industrial College. Other advanced degrees include school counseling, school psychology, and school administration. Please help me welcome Dr. Josephine Sanders.
Where's the little remote gizmo? Let me see that it's here. Okay. Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Caldwell, for that sincere introduction. And I thank each of you for your presence and the vibrational energy you bring this morning. And a special thanks to those of you who made this event possible. It is an honor for me to be a speaker at this convention. And at this moment, I'd like for you to go within, the silence within, as I say the Aramaic Lord's Prayer, the way Jesus said it 2,000 years ago. The Washmeya, Nith Kudashismak, Tatiema Kuthak, that way say we anta, a Canad Washmeya, Bara. How long lach masun canon yao mana. Wash woklan how bain e Canada hanan swakin la hayawain la tatlan la lisiano ella pasan min bisha before dilahi makufa haila tish pota la abam amin amen. My topic, an Aramaic perspective on peacemaker consciousness, is a result of my studying the Aramaic interpretation of the Bible based on the language of Jesus, his disciples, and the Aramaic people. And since the time of Jesus, humanity has made great technological advances, but spiritually we lag behind. So this morning, I want to share with you how an understanding an Aramaic interpretation of the Bible will give us greater peacemaker consciousness and help bring peace to the world. My references are from my mentor, Dr. Rocco Errico, Aramaic scholar, minister, speaker, and author, and his mentor, the late Dr. George Lamser, a native Assyrian, who translated the Aramaic Peshitta into English in 1933. We are living in a world where there's disharmony and chaos all around us. In every level of our government, our economy, our environment, among the races, and among our religions. Gandhi said during the Indian independence movement, he said, we need to make a paradigm shift, a universal shift toward peace. We need to shift from chaos to peace. We need to develop peacemaker consciousness. We need to strive for inner peace and be peace-centered. Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Jr., Nelson Mandela, and many other advocates of world peace, they followed the teachings of Jesus the Christ. So this morning, I'm going to ask you to leave these beautiful red clay mountains of Sedona with the liquid sunshine on us this morning, and I want you to take a trip with me to the ancient Near East, where we will listen to Jesus and his message as he talks to the peacemakers in his Sermon on the Mount. There we will learn what it means to be a peacemaker, and we will be able to be a part of that paradigm shift that will bring universal peace. And this morning, part of this, I'm going to ask you to be actively involved. To go on this trip with me, you don't need anything. You will not need a passport, reservations. You won't even have to go through customs. All I'm going to ask you to do is hold up your hands. And holding up the hands together symbolizes that we together this morning, we will raise our peacemaker consciousness. And let's say that. We will raise our peacemaker consciousness. We will raise our peacemaker consciousness. And thank you. And let's sit back, let's relax as we head to the ancient Near East. And this beautiful liquid sunshine morning as we arrive on the mount, we hear Jesus. He's talking to this group that has surrounded him, and he says, Tuwe hon la de slama, thou now de la ha nithron. And Jesus is saying, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. And later, Errico interprets this as blissful are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. And if you notice here, the word tuwe hon. Tuwe hon in Aramaic means delight and blissful. You notice I didn't say bless. Tuwe hon carries a stronger emotional reward for being a peacemaker and a child of God than the word barak, which is the word for bless. And next, Jesus, his message is to the peacemakers. Peacemakers, the origin of that word comes from the word slama, S-H-L-A-M-A, which means peace. And to receive peace, we must surrender to God. So a peacemaker, one who has surrendered to God, is a doer of peace. Notice I said doer, not someone to just want peace for themselves, but they experience peace themselves and they help others experience peace. Then we hear Jesus uses the idiomatic expression, sons of God. Here, sons of God means children of God. In this verse, the word God means peace. So it's telling us that we have divinely inherited peace. And now we turn our attention to Jesus on the Mount. As he searches for those who can help him bring peace and carry his message of peace. And it's Jesus, we follow Jesus. And first Jesus, he sees this group over here. He sees the Sadducees. They are the aristocrats of the group. They aren't peace conscious. They are economic conscious. Then he sees the Pharisees, big group. They're the separatists. They are law conscious. So Jesus continues his search. And then he sees another group, the Herodians. The Herodians are like many people today. They have lost their integrity. And as you can see, the consciousness of the people 2,000 years ago, it's the same kind of consciousness we experience today. That's bringing and causing all of this chaos in our world. And Jesus, he's hadn't found what he's looking for. Then Jesus sees coming a small group coming toward him. It kind of startles him. He stops. Something different about this group. He feels that peacemaker consciousness. He feels their inner peace. He can sense that the members of this group, they're peace-centered. And he recognizes them. Those are the ancient descendants of Israel, what we call the remnants. Jesus knew these were his peacemakers. Because of the hundreds of years they have lived under oppression, but they have always maintained their spiritual practices of surrendering to God, maintaining oneness with God, experiencing the peace of God, regardless to what is going on around them. And we join this group. We join this special group because we want to learn what they know. We want to experience this peacemaker consciousness. So we walk with this group as Jesus. He begins to talk to this group. And Jesus tells them, the first thing he tells them, you are the salt of the earth. And then Jesus tells them something else. You are the light of the world. Jesus is speaking metaphorically here. Salt meaning trust, preserve, savor. Light here meaning understanding, awareness, and knowledge. So Jesus is telling these ancient Israelites that I want you, I trust you to carry my message. Give my message spiritual flavor. Savor it. Carry it like one carries a light in the night. Bring an understanding, knowledge, and awareness to all mankind. And here we learn what it means to be a peacemaker. But we want to know something else. We keep hearing this word peace. What's about this peace they are able to experience? So we go to John 14:27, where Jesus says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Jesus is talking about a special kind of peace. He's talking about spiritual peace. He's telling us here that as sons of God and children of God, we have inherited this peace. Ernest Holmes describes this peace so beautifully. He says it's inner calm. It's fathomless. You can't find words to express it. It's everlasting. It is not the kind of peace or worldly peace that we enjoy by doing self-gratifying acts that bring us pleasure. These ancient Israelites knew how to commune with God and connect with God and experience this inner peace. And we can experience this inner peace. We must do our spiritual practices. We must meditate. We must pray. This is the only way that we can develop and maintain peacemaker consciousness. And we want to be like the ancient Israelites who in the middle of chaos, they were peace-centered. And that's what we need to learn how to do in the midst of our chaos today. And we can do that. We need to use the law of repetition. Combining the law of repetition and the spiritual practice of saying affirmations, repeatedly saying affirmations of peace, we train our minds to be balanced. And when that challenge hit you, we can shift from chaos to peace and bring ourselves back on center. Now here we've learned that we need to be one with God. And we can have this inner peace and this bliss, the kind of bliss, the emotional experience that balances our whole body, and we can be centered. So this morning, we've learned what it means to be a peacemaker. We've learned the responsibilities of a peacemaker. And we know the spiritual practices. So as we get ready to leave these Galilean hills this morning, I want to give you a gift. I have prepared a peacemaker survival kit. And you should have that on your table, a little book that says Peacemaker Survival Kit. And in that kit, there are 5 tools in that kit. And those 5 tools are 5 spiritual practice techniques. The first 2 will help you develop the silent destroyer. And what I want you to teach yourself is, when you walk into that explosive situation, I want you to silently bless it with thoughts of peace. And the second technique is, I call it the faith-making technique. You know, that unexpected challenge, the way challenges come, I want you to bless it. I don't care how big it is, how small it is. Bless it with thoughts of peace. Now, in that peacemaker's kit that you have, I have some examples of affirmations that you may say to develop this technique. For the other 3 techniques, affirmation, meditation, and prayer, I have designed a 7-step spiritual model. The techniques of that model is on my website, AramaiCspiritualJourney.com. This morning, we're going to follow what Dr. Leon Masters taught us. Understanding is no good unless you put it into practice. So this morning, I want to leave you, before you go back to your prospective places, I want to do a short practice that will develop inner peace. Sorry, I kept going. I mentioned emotional cleansing up here. That's very good for developing inner peace, and it's a part of the meditation that's in that model. But I'd like for you to, this moment, go into the silence and relax. Your feet flat, palms down or up, whichever is comfortable. And I want you to simply focus on the rhythm of your breath. And as you focus on the rhythm of your breath, I want you to listen to the rhythm. Now I want you to feel the flow of the energy of your breath. And even notice you began to feel that relaxed, calm feeling. And at this point, I want you to gently close your eyes. And I want you to sit in the silence. And as you sit in the silence, I want you to sit in the silence with thoughts of peace. And with that thought of peace and the energy of peace, I want you to let that peace radiate from the crown of your head throughout your body. Almighty God, we come to you this morning with thanksgiving in our hearts because we enjoy the silence and the peace that it brings. And this morning we increase our spiritual awareness to an even higher level of understanding as we say these words in the Aramaic tongue. And please repeat after me. Slama Rabba, Hoba Rabba, Hadatha Rabba. We affirm this morning abundant peace, abundant love, and abundant joy. And we let it be so. And so it is. And now you may return from the Galilean hills to your prospective place. And I thank you very much.